to encourage everybody to try to. What happened now? Okay, it was just I got a message that recording is in progress. Sorry for that. I just want to encourage everybody to give it a try. I myself was an exchange student when I was younger, and that provided me with a lot of valuable insights and also experiences for my future career. So the best of luck to all of you, and I will be around as long as I can to try to answer any additional questions if there are. When it comes to more study, scholarship related questions, I'm sure the alumni network might be better suited than me to answer. Also on the general questions about Sweden, how it is to live there and study there. I mean, the alumni are a great asset. I can maybe chip in with one or two recommendations if somebody wants anything special. Yes, thank you for that. I think, Monica, over to you. If there is anything other that you're wondering, please just let me know. Thank you. Over to you, Monica.
Thank you so much, Martin. Let's just go straight to the general information on the general overview of the Swedish Institute Scholarship for Global Professionals. Cliff, over to you.
Thank you, Monica. I think you are able to hear me. Are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so let me share the screen. I think you're also able to see the screen. Okay.
We can see it.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, I would like to welcome you again to this information session. And I'm Cliff Chinyama, as already explained by Monica, and I was a student at the University of Gothenburg from 2019 to 2021, doing a master's program in educational research. It was a 2-year master's degree program under SI scholarship. So I'll take you through the general information about the SI scholarship, although some of you already know, but I will still go through it so that we can build towards the other presentations. So this year, SI will grant about 350 scholarships, thus to applicants from the eligible countries. So Malawi can get its throws. It depends on the quality of the application that you send. So 350 scholarships are up for grabs this year. And our awarding of the scholarship or receiving the scholarship depends on the results from university admissions. If you get admitted to university admissions, then you are good to go. But if you don't get any study place from the university admissions, then your chances are zero, because they can't give you a scholarship when you haven't been awarded a study place. So university admissions is a separate entity or agency. SI is a separate agency, but they work hand in hand. So you should also take note that those on reserve list from the university admissions will not be granted a scholarship by SI. So this means if you apply to, let's say, 3 courses, or let's just say 2 courses at university admissions, and you are awarded a study place in, let's say, your second choice, but the first choice they put you on reserve, then you should just reject the one on reserve and you remain with the one that you have been awarded. Don't say, I wanted the first choice. Still, I'll be waiting, because if you are on reserve, SI will not receive your name, and SI will not consider your application for the reserve study place. Therefore, once in a while, you should be going to university admissions and check the progress of your application. So that's very important. Some people miss the scholarship because they cling to the course that they wanted, but maybe they are only reserve, and they still think that a study place will be granted, maybe if another one rejects the place. So this is a very important tip for you to know. Now, as I have already said, that SI and university admissions somehow work hand in hand, although they are separate entities. Let's look at the dates, important dates for this scholarship. First, we are going to look at the date for university admissions results. They will be out on March 30. So right now it's still open until tomorrow. You can apply and you can pay the fees up to February, I think, and then they will be working on your applications. On March 30th, the results will be out. And once the results are out, the names of successful or admitted students will be sent to SI. So SI will be working with the names from university admissions, names that have been admitted to universities in Sweden. Of course, you receive a message or an email saying you have been granted, you have been conditional admitted, but that's the same as saying you have been admitted because you are supposed to pay tuition fee. That's why they say conditionally admitted. And then once the SI receives the names, SI will already have your application because the SI will open its applications next month. So SI will start now working on the applications, and on April 27th, around noon, mostly maybe 12 or 2 p.m., SI will release names, not names, but results, because they just release your application number, your course, and the university. So you know that this is my application number and I apply to this university and to this course. So March 30th, university admissions results will be out. April 27th, SI results released. And now there is no quota for countries or courses or universities. So the scholarship depends on the quality of your application. That is to say, there are so many countries that get the scholarship. So it's not like SI says, okay, Zambia will get 15, Malawi will get 10, Nigeria will get 17. No, it's not like that. So the number of awardees can go up or can go down based on the candidates that we field. It's like a team that we are trying to field here. So we are trying to help you to submit a high quality application so that you can also increase the number of Malawians who get the scholarship. But the numbers have been increasing. During, I think, previous time, I think they were less than maybe 5. And during my time, we were about, should be 8 or 9. And now I hear 10, sometimes 12. So the numbers should be increasing. You shouldn't go back to maybe 6 or 5. No, that's, so if in the 350 scholarships, they also don't have a quota for maybe courses saying maybe Master of Law or Master of Artificial Intelligence, you should grant them maybe 50. No, it's not like that. And when you are applying to the SI scholarship during the application window, you should use the application number that you got from university admissions. You have your application number, so use that one to apply. And now the date for the application window is February 10 to 28th. Now they have increased the number of days. During my time in 2019, it was about 10 days, but now it's about 28, it's about 18 days. And the portal closes just before 3 p.m. So be very, very careful. Take note of that, because some people say, I'll apply when I like to work under pressure. Most of people say so. So they wait until the maybe 2 to 3 days before the portal closes. So that's not right. One, because if you apply early and there are issues with your application, it's easy for you to have correspondence with SI personnel, so they can tell you, and you can send in your application again. So that helps you to rectify any problems that you may encounter. But if you apply maybe 2 days before closing date or just on the dot, and there are issues with the application, then there is no any chance for you to rectify the problem. Also, during the last days, 2 to 3 days before the portal closes, the internet sometimes misbehaves because of maybe heavy traffic. There are so many people applying. Therefore, you need to apply early and then maybe forget about it. So that's very important. Take note of 10th February up to 28th February. And finally, the benefits of the scholarship, SI scholarship. It's one of the coveted scholarships, quite prestigious scholarship. So you're going to have full tuition for your studies. If it's a 1-year program, it will be covered. If it's 2 years, you be covered. Your tuition fees will be sent directly to the university. And then you have airfare, that's return fare. But what they do is, the system is different from other scholarships. You buy your own ticket and you go to Sweden. Once you arrive, they give you a card and then you activate the card, and within a day or two, you receive, and they reimburse your airfare. But they do it, they reimburse both to and fro. So you are given your fare when going and when coming back. If you use it, you are going to find your way back home. You see how you will come back. And you're also going to be covered with a comprehensive health insurance. But the system is still different from Malawi. In Malawi, if you have got a MASIM card, a health insurance card, you go to the hospital, they give you the bill, you show them the card, they enter your details, and then you go back home maybe without paying anything. But in Sweden, it's a bit different. You go to the hospital, they treat you, they give you the bill, you pay the bill, and then you claim the money. So you get back your money. And they have increased the stipend, the monthly stipend is now at 11,000 Swedish crowns. So roughly that's about $1 million. So I'm talking to would be millionaires right now. So it also depends on the exchange rate. Sometimes it can be 950, maybe 1.1 million, depending on the exchange rate of at that time. And the scholarship doesn't cover grants for accompanying members or like family members, or you want to take maybe your children or the ones you stay with. The scholarship doesn't cover the cost for such people. But the scholarship is very good. It doesn't bar you from bringing your family. You can take your family with you when you are going to Sweden, but you're going to bear the cost, the visa cost, the flight, the health insurance. So you just have to show the bank statement. You can go to the website for the immigration for this for Sweden, and you are going to find the information there. And finally, I should say the scholarship doesn't also bar you from working. In my case, I worked at 3 different places, so I also experienced Sweden from that angle, studying and also working part-time. So if you go there and you want to work, of course the money is okay. You are able to survive well with the stipend, but if you want maybe to increase the income, you can work part-time. I worked at 3 places, different places. So that's all for now. If you have good questions, just reserve them, keep them for now until the other presenters present, because they can answer your questions during their presentation. Thank you. Back to Monica.
Thank you so much, Cliff. As he has said, you have to reserve all your questions to the questions and answer time. Hear me?
Yes, please.
For now, let's
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Let's have a presentation on the eligibility for the scholarship as well as the required documents for the SIGP scholarship by Rachel. Over to you, Rachel. You are muted, Rachel.
My apologies. Good morning, everyone. I have a very weak internet connection, but oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Hello.
We can hear you, Rachel.
All right, thank you. So I'll talk about who is eligible for the SI scholarship and also who is not. On the eligibility, the first thing is that the person must be a citizen from an eligible country. So on the portal, on the webpage, you see that there's a list of countries which are eligible, and fortunately, Malawi is one of these countries. And the second one is that the person must have been admitted to one of the eligible master's programs already. So I hope at this stage, we are all admitted in one or two of the master's programs. Yeah. And also, the person must submit all required documents. And these documents, we'll talk about them later. On who is not eligible, if you have been staying already in Sweden, or you have been there like for 2 years before getting the scholarship. If you are also already a recipient of one of other Swedish government scholarships, we'll look at the list of the scholarships later as well. And also, if you already have a degree from a Swedish university, either a undergrad degree or a master's degree, or you're already studying in Sweden. Yeah, we can go to the other slide. Okay, so now let's look at the required documents. So there's the CV. The good thing is they already give us a format, a template of how they want the CV to look like. And there's the letter of references. So you need to submit 2 letters of references. The one, it shows your, it's referee from where you're working or where you have worked before. The other one is on academic, and that also includes something that you have been doing out of work, like let's say voluntary work, whatever you have been doing on civil society or anything. Valid and complete proof of work and leadership experience. That's another third required document. On this one, there is also a template that is already available on the portal, and you just have to follow the template. It's easy. On the proof of work experience, you need to add, like, it's a maximum is 3,000 work experience, and I mean 3,000 hours. And I think we'll get to how we can calculate this. And also, usually, you might need to show that you have indeed worked for over 3,000 hours. And you can include even experience from at least 2 or 3 organizations or companies that you have worked with. The fourth document is the copy of your passport or national ID card. On this one, of course, passport is the most recommended one. The other fifth document is the motivation, which is also available in the, where you can include it, it's already available in the application portal. So I'll just hand over to my colleague, Private, to go through on how we can go about the motivation later. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. And I would also like to thank my colleagues for presenting very ably what has already been presented before. I would just like to add a little bit on how you can get about this application process. So just as a word of reminder, this is the second step of your application, because at this point, or as Cliff already said, by tomorrow, or is it Monday, you should have at least completed the application process for university admissions, because this will guarantee you a place and also will make you eligible for the scholarship. That is, if you secure a place with one of the eligible Swedish universities. So as already highlighted in the earlier webinar, what you need to do is to select an eligible program. So only eligible programs will be considered for this scholarship. There is a lot of information that you are supposed to submit, or you are supposed to know as you are preparing and submitting your application. And there are a lot of places where you can get this information. So for example, there is the SI website, that is si.se. There you are going to get almost all the information that you need. And there is also a Facebook page that was set up specifically for this process. So here we are saying that there is a Facebook page that you would join in order to acquire information, ask questions, or at least on the international level. But again, also on the local level, as the SIAlumni network in Malawi, we have also created a WhatsApp group where we are going to engage with you as aspiring applicants. We are going to assist you or where you are stuck, and also just general tips that should help you to navigate through the application process. We do know that it's a very stressing process, so we will be there to support you. And then again, another very important thing that you need to do in your application is to at least make sure that your application is tailor-made for you. Because sometimes as applicants, we make the mistake of going around seeing who has been to that particular, who has successfully gone through the application process and they have been successful, and we say, no, just give me the documents that you use so that I can also use them. That is one sure way of losing out, because these are people who are well experienced in these kind of things, and they do their background research very well. So if an idea, or if something looks similar to something that has already been submitted before, then this is a sure way of getting disqualified. So what you need to do is to try to be as original as possible. And on this one, what I usually say to the aspiring applicants that I talk to is at least to take time to review your application. So you need to start early. Don't say because the closing date is the 28th, then I will give it 2-3 days until I finish. That is a sure way of failing, because every time you look back at what you've written, you definitely know that there is something that you would do better. So take time, sit down and review your application. Make sure it speaks to your needs. And you need to provide as practical examples as possible, so that at least you are different. You are known as a doer, not just an aspirant. And again, your application should also reflect at least one of the UN 2030 SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. You need to be conversant with these. I think as we already pointed out in the area, in the first webinar, what we did say was that at least try as much as possible to be relevant to the global agreements, development blueprints. And this is the first. You need to be able to speak, or if your application is successful, what are you going to do in order to operationalize or to contribute to the achievement of these sustainable development goals. And again, you should also need to bring it down to the Africa level. So you would want to talk about Agenda 2063. At least you need to at least pick out one of the goals that you will be able to contribute to. And again, we also have our own national blueprint, the Malawi 2063. If you are not conversant with this, then it's time that you download it from the internet and read it, understand it, and see how you can contribute. At least just one of the pillars or one of the enablers. You need to be able to conversant. You have to be conversant with those and see how you can speak to that. That, we are saying, is one very sure way of trying to be relevant. Of course, we all know that we are all trying to develop our own career pathways. But if you tailor your application towards the achievement of this, then it means that you, by helping yourself, you are also helping humanity by achieving some of these goals. And again, we are saying it is also a plus for you to show evidence of your engagement in civil society activities. So you must already be you must already show initiative that on your own you have been able to do this. If you already have some projects, this is time to bring those out. So, for example, I organized my community in cleaning the environment. There was a river that was clogged with filthy pampers that I was able to mobilize my community, and we were able to clear this out. That shows initiative. That shows that when you see a problem, you are able to stand up and do something about it, not just grumble. So generally, what we are saying is you must be able to present your level of education and also your aspiration. So, for example, if you already have a master's, but you would like to study for another master's, then you should be able how this scholarship or how the studies mainly that you are applying for are going to help you move from where you are now to another level where you are going to be more relevant or where you are going to contribute more towards the national as well as international development. So already I saw a question in the chat asking, I already have a master's from another institution or from another country. Am I eligible for this particular scholarship? You would be, if at least you justify why you want another master's degree. As long as it has already been pointed out, as long as it is not, it was not obtained in Sweden or using Swedish government funds. And I would also like to say that, as I already pointed out, the best thing for you to do is to start working on your application documents immediately. So because at least by the end, when you move on, you will find that there is much more than you think. It's not easy to bring together these successful application documents. What you need to do is to start early, and I think at the moment we already have the templates that you need. So as soon as you are done with your university applications, go deep in those and start making your applications. And there is also the issue of references that Rachel talked about earlier. That is another area that brings the letters of reference that brings people down, because what happens is that you ask someone to write that for you, because you cannot write it for yourself. You have to ask someone to do that for you, and they take their time, or they are unable to respond to, or to submit in time. That is going to, you are not going to be able to complete that application. So what you need to do is to immediately go and ask your references to start working on the references. And another very important thing that you need to do is to read and read and read again. Don't just do that once and say, I have written what I can, there is nothing else that I can do. Most of us, when we go back to what we have drafted, we always find mistakes, we always find issues, or we find that this is something that is not making sense. So what you need to do is to go back again and again to what you have written. And the best thing that you need to do is to ask someone you trust to do the checking for you, because some things may make sense to you, but when someone reads them, you'll find that there are gaps that you need to fill up. So, and again, when you are picking your referees, you need to look for people who stand out in society, people who know you, but they are not family members. They are not your co-workers. Your boss is not your co-worker. So you could ask your boss to do that for you. Or you say, my spouse should write your reference for you. That would not work. But you need to find people who are people of integrity in your society, who are going to do that for you. For example, in my case, I asked one of the project leaders in a project that I was involved in to write my reference for me. And another very important thing that we need to know is that these people may meet, they meet different people each and every day, and may not remember your very strong points. So what you need to do is you need to take a self-assessment. What are my strong points? What did I do in this particular project or at this particular workplace that made me stand out? So you do need to identify those, and then you highlight them when you are making that application, when you are asking them to write that reference for you. So what you need to do is to say, maybe you could also consider these points. We are not saying that you write it down for them, but what you need to do is to highlight your strong points, so that at least they remember you, or at least they see what you can do, and then it comes out during your or in your reference to SI. That is going to be a plus for you. And as Cliff also pointed out, what happens with the system at SI is that during the last few days, 2, 3, 4 days, what happens is there is a lot of traffic getting into the system. And then it has happened several times before where the system just jams up. It cannot receive any new submissions. So what you need to do is to submit early, a week before the closing date. 6 days, 5 days, you would be safer. But if you cut it down to 2, 3 days, just know that sometimes the system falls and then you cannot submit. You keep trying to push something through, nothing happens. You may have seen this when you are trying to call someone who is already on another line. What happens is that your line cannot get through. And this is also partly something that happens when you are when a lot of traffic is trying to get into the system. So make your submission early so that at least you are on the safer side. So basically, this is what I had, and maybe allow me to ask Rachel if there is something that she would also like to put in before I hand it back, before Monica takes over and then opens the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Private. That was well elaborated, and you have highlighted the strong points. Maybe I should just add on the CV that it should not exceed like 3 pages, and should only contain, sometimes we have a lot of things we want to add on the CV, but they just want the relevant information about your like work experience and your academic background according to categories as highlighted in the template that you'll be provided with. And at the end of the CV, you add your passport on the last page, but the passport is not part of the 3 pages of the CV. On your CV, you should include also your personal data, your photograph, and okay, I just wanted to say that you should also convert the CV into PDF format after you have completed it, and it do not include. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you, Rachel.
Oh, thank you. So at the end, yeah, you should not include the instruction page when you are converting the CV into the PDF format. You see, on the format that will be provided, the template, it has like instruction page at the beginning and then the template at the end. So you just change into PDF the template and not the instruction page. Okay, and on the proof of leadership, you also have a template. You include all the details. You start with your work experience form, where you include your period of employment, how long you have worked with that company, and how you calculate the hours that you have worked in total. In total, it's like, how sometimes in a day you work like probably 8 hours. Most of us work probably 5 to 8 hours a day, and you multiply the hours, like depending on like per week I work in how many hours, and then you add all these hours. And it's good that at least you should have at least 4,000 hours, which is more like probably over 3 years. Yeah. And on the proof of work and leadership experience, again, there are 2 templates. The first one, you include your work experience, and the last one, the first 2 actually, the last page, that's where you add leadership experience. You include even the position that you were working as, and also the people, like who was your supervisor when you did something that is related to leadership, something like that. So the good thing is everything is on the templates, and it's easy. The other thing that you need to do is to make sure that after you have completed filling the forms, they should be signed, and you can also include it from that from where you were working. Yeah. So I think at this point, Monica, please continue.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rachel, Private, and Cliff for the presentations. We'll now take questions and give answers to all your burning questions, which you kept from the first presentation. I saw some 2 questions in the chat. They were saying they have their certificates in black and white. However, the admissions in Sweden insist they present to them certificates in color. You agree with me that maybe from 2010 going backwards, University of Malawi, among other universities, was conferring degrees in black and white. But then from 2019, I think from 2020 to now, admissions in Sweden insist that you present to them a degree and as well as a transcript in color. So what you can do in that case is go to the university office, have them write a letter of reference for you, confirming that your degree or your transcript was given to you, was conferred to you, was awarded to you in black and white, and that what you have as black and white copy, as a black and white certificate or transcript is an original copy, which they gave you. That's what you can do. Thank you so much for that question. Do you have any questions? Just raise your hand or unmute your mic and speak up. Any questions?
Hello, Monica.
Hello?
I can come in?
I can't hear anyone.
Okay, I have a question. Can I come in?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So my question was on the proof of work and leadership experience. So, of course, Trinity has tackled it in the inbox, but I wanted to find out if it's possible to just use one proof of work experience, which covers the 3,000 minimum work requirement, if it's possible to do that.
Yeah, that one is very, very possible, as long as it's about 3,000 hours or more. That's in order. Thank you. Another question?
Okay.
Hi, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my question was on the SDGs, because the application requires us to link our work and our education to the SDGs. So I wanted to find out, like, when you're doing it for the education, we studied different courses in college. So I'm just trying to see if you just choose one of those courses and link it to one of the SDGs, or you look at the whole course, what it contributes to the SDGs. That's one question.
All right. Trinity, can you take that question up?
Oh, sorry, Monica, I was on a call. What was the question? Yeah, I can surely take it up. What was the question once again?
Repeat the question, dear.
Okay, what she said was, I in my presentation, I referred to speaking to the SDGs. So
Yes.
she says in her studies, there were a number of courses that she studies that touch on different SDGs. So is it possible to attach that to simply identify one SDG and speak to that?
Okay, what I can say is the amount of word limit that SI usually give you, it's very little, you know, so sometimes it might not even be possible for you to include everything that you've done, you know, and relate to each and every SDG that you've done before. So for me, I would really advise you to just select maybe one or two, but then make sure that when somebody reads it, they would see the impact that you're gonna bring. It's not possible to include all of that, because trust me, sometimes you feel like, okay, 500 words, that's a lot. It's actually very little. You end up, you know, you look at your essay and you feel like everything here is important, but it's almost a page, and you have to cut it to maybe a quarter page, and it's not easy. So I would advise that you just select a few SDGs that were really crucial and that are really relevant, and include that to your application.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Right. I was on the second question on the passports.
All right.
Where Rachel was saying that we have to paste it on the bottom of the CV page, the third page. Is it like a must? You must do that, because I'm just thinking the CV might already like what Trinity is saying about the limit of words. So you already have a word limit, and you have three pages already, and you have to paste the passport picture on that page as well. I was just okay. My question is it a must to have it on the CV page, or you can, because we're sending the copy of the passport anyway?
Rachel, take that on up.
Yes. So yes, you are sending the passport, you are attaching it at the end of your CV. You are not putting your photograph, everything in the CV, but you are just attaching it at the end. It's a separate document, but it's at the end of the CV, but it's not the same CV. It's not part of the CV. I'm not sure if I'm clear.
Yeah, that's clear. I now understand. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
I can see a question from Ernest. Unmute your mic, please. Ernest, you raised your hand up.
Yes, I have a question. Can I come in?
Yeah, I can come in.
Okay. I think there is a flow of questions in the chat box which are pertaining to the 16th deadline. It's the deadline for application, and we wanted just a clarification. What does application mean in regard to the deadline on the 16th?
I think I can take that one up. The 16th January deadline is just for you to select your desired programs and then rank them according to your preference and submit. After that, you get an application number, what is called an application number. That's the deadline for the 16th, which is on 16th January. And then for the required documents, as well as the application fee, the deadline is 1st February. Thank you so much, Ernest. I hope that is clear, right?
Yeah, it is clear.
All right, thank you.
So Ernest is in?
Yeah, Ernest is in.
Yeah, I was able to apply, and then I received a notification from different universities that I applied for. Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so there was a notification also that said your application is not complete and cannot be processed to begin processing your application, you must receive an application fee. So I just wanted to know that, does this mean that I've applied for the courses that I selected, and now I'm remaining only with other documentation, or there's anything that is needed?
I'm sure you got an application number, right?
I don't know. Is it from my email maybe? Because
Yeah,
I've
in
just
your email as well as in your application portal. Application ID, application number.
I don't think that I have received one.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay. Okay. If you selected your programs, rank them according to your preference, and submitted an application.
Yeah.
Just clicking apply. That one is referred to as a submission of application in the admissions in Sweden, investor admissions in Sweden. After that, you'll be given an application ID, which is also called application number, right in the application portal, and you also receive an email on the same with a summary of your preferences of your preferred programs submitted in the application form. You got that, right?
Yes, I have 159 something going up there. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, that means you successfully have submitted an application. So what's remaining now is for you to give them the required documents as well as the application fee. That's when they'll start assessing your application.
Okay, fine. So
yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I haven't found any option that says you have to upload your documents. Does it come after you have paid the fee?
No, just go on your My Pages tab.
Okay.
It's usually to the right of your computer on the portal, and then you click where there is documents, stroke My Documents. That's where you upload your documents there. Thank you.
So you can apply some and leave some, or because I don't have like a passport right now. That's what's remaining, but the reference letter, proof of work, I have them. So can I upload them first, or should I upload everything at once?
You can upload one by one. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But then I hope you are not referring to the Swedish Institute's reference letters templates.
Yes, I mean those.
No, those are for the scholarship application, not for admission application. So just check on the programs you have selected and be able to know what documents are required for those programs.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Another question?
Or maybe before you proceed there, and also maybe before Trinity comes in, I would like to emphasize that the university applications and the scholarship application are two different processes requiring two different sets of documents that you submit. So if you take something from scholarship application and you submit it to university admissions, then you're starting to get it wrong. So you should have a separate checklist for the two applications. These are separate. You start with university admissions, all those documents. If you need to upload any, you do that. Don't take anything from scholarship applications to Swedish to university admissions. You'll be getting it wrong. So please cross-check and make sure that what you have is going to the right institution. Thank you.
Trinity.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Mainly, I wanted to comment something that Private has already raised here, because I can still feel that some people are confusing between the two, the university admission application and the scholarship application. Those are two different things, so we should get them right. And also on the issue of documents that somebody talked about, the issue of documents, we need to take them seriously. And somebody said, I don't have a passport, my passport expired, or I've applied, but it's not yet out. Can I still apply? Because you have to pay the admission fee, and it's a lot of money. So if you're paying, then you should get all your documents right. So make sure that between now and the second deadline, maybe your passport should be ready. But it would be really nice if right now you've got your passport ready, so that you upload it in the admission portal. But also the payment for this for the admission fee, it is very important, because this is what happens. Even though the deadline is on Monday, but you still have time to submit other documents, it delays the whole process. So you would see that some of the guys that already submitted maybe 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, right now it means the universities, I'm sure they have already started looking at their application and stuff like that. Well, yours, if you haven't paid, they will start until when you have paid. So you will see, we had, during our time, we had people who delayed things. They didn't submit the documents properly. They didn't do the naming properly. And universities had to every now and then write them like, can you please submit this in color, not black and white? That delays the whole process. So you would find that because you've delayed yourself, you've paid the application late, the application fee late, but also didn't submit your documents properly, and they only start processing later. By the time your friends start looking at the status of their application, and some have already started getting the qualified messages, you see with yours, there's nothing going on because you were late. So you'd see even towards the end, others are put on reserve because they delayed and they didn't do things in time, and they didn't upload their documents appropriately. So it is important that you pay your the fee as soon as possible, but also have a checklist and check everything that they need. Sometimes they'll ask you for more documents. Get those ones in time and do a proper naming. That really helps. So I just wanted to highlight that also, Monica.
All right, thank you so much, Trinity. It's 11, it's 3 minutes past 11 by my watch. So if you have other things, other important things to attend to, you can release you now. Thank you so much for being with us. But then if you still want to stick around, maybe you can just take a question or two. Anyone else with a question? Just unmute your mic.
I have a question.
Yes,
actually, I'm one of the people that is confused on the set of documents. Can we have a quick run maybe on what is the documents supposed to be submitted to the scholarship application, and then to the admission, the documents needed for the admission, university admission? Can we have some more light on that one, maybe, or a quick run on them, if they still have time, that is?
Anuarita, can you take that one up if you're still around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so for the university admission, you need your transcript, your degree, and then you also need your motivation letter. In some universities, they can ask you for another document, which basically shows like some research and all that, because I know of Gothenburg, it also asks for that. But mostly you need your transcript, your degree, your motivation. Whilst for your SI application, you need the proof of work, your leadership, and then, oh, I don't, can you hear me? Something is wrong with my camera.
Yes,
we can hear.
Yes,
We can
can
hear.
hear you.
All right, so for the Swedish, you need,
You need to unmute.
for the Swedish, you need your proof of work, your leadership, and then they also give you another part for the motivation as well.
Thank you so much.
And I just want to add on that as well. I
Yes,
wanted
Rachel.
to add that for the scholarship, there should be 5 documents. 1, the CV, and then the second one is the 2 letters of reference. 3 is the proof of work and leadership experience. The 4th one is your passport. And the 5th one is the motivation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I hope that one
Can
is
I as well add?
understood.
Can I
Yeah,
as well
yeah, go
add,
ahead.
Monica?
Go ahead, please.
Yes. Okay. There are also other universities that need, for example, your thesis maybe at the university level, the degree one. So sometimes you need to go and search for the university, what they're looking for, the requirements for that. That's a course that you are applying for, because other universities, they need at least a part of the thesis that you were doing at the university level, at the degree level. So you need to go to that course which you are taking, search for the requirements for that course, because other universities, they need, for example, I think in Stockholm and also Gothenburg, they also need that, some courses. So you need to go to that course, go there and read the requirements of that course, because sometimes you can miss it. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you. Any last question?
Yeah, a question from me. I just wanted to ask on what Anurita just commented recently on the motivational letter for the university admission. So I was also going to each university page that I'm interested in and going through what the requirements, and some universities weren't asking for the motivational letter. Like 2 of the universities I'm applying to, we are not asking for the motivational letter. While one wanted a statement of purpose. So it means I can just submit one and it's going to be accessed by the university that is requiring it, right?
Yes, that's it. That's
Thank
in
you.
order. This
Yeah,
one is the last question.
Let me just add on that one. You need to pay attention to also what you're going to write to the university and what you're going to write to the Swedish institution, because those are 2 different documents, especially when it comes to the motivation. So you need to pay like when you're applying for the university, you need to look at what they specifically want, what the course is about. Whilst when you're looking at the other one for the SI, you need to focus more on the SDGs and stuff like that. So pay attention to exactly what type of motivation letter you're going to write on to.
Right. Thank you so much, Anuarita, for your additional comments on that question. I guess that's all for the questions, right?
Yeah,
No
so
more questions.
Monica.
Pardon?
Yeah, there was something about someone asking about using all the documents. They made a previous application maybe last year. Would they still use the documents that they used at that time now? What I would like to say is a little more personal. My own path towards acquiring a scholarship. My interest, I would say, started in 2011 when I made my first scholarship application. And I only became successful when I was picked by SI in 2017. So you will see that from 2011 to 2017, each and every year I was applying for different scholarships. And what I say is that, of course, apart from divine providence, apart from God praying a Lord, grace, I would also say that you become better after each application. Not all of us will get our scholarship at the first try. But when you improve on what you already have, just know that you become better. Something that I already said about encouraging you to start your applications early. So each time you go back to your application, you review it, you make improvements, and it makes more and more sense. So there is no problem in using your old documents as long as you are improving on them. Don't just throw them in as they are. Of course, talk of scanned copies of your degree, your transcripts. There is nothing that you can change about that. But the other documents, the motivation letters, the proof of leadership and work, all those are things that you would add more value to them, so that at least you come up with something better, more and more. Thank you. And maybe before I leave, I leave completely, I would like to thank Martin for sticking around to up to now. And we as the Swedish Institute alumni in Malawi really appreciate the support that we are receiving from the embassy in Malawi. And just to also say that this is not the last webinar that we are going to have. We are also going to have another one for those who are going to successfully get the scholarship, so that we are able to walk you through the last process of applying for your residence permit and looking for accommodation in Sweden and all those other related tidbits that will make your transition as smooth as possible. And maybe later on, we are also going to have a full-time activity that is going to showcase the presence of the Swedish Institute Alumni Network. And also, just to point out that in the chat, there has been posted a link to a WhatsApp group that I would encourage you all to join, so that any challenges that you may have as you are applying for your scholarship, we can at least help you to steer through as seamlessly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Private. Time is up. So if you have any more questions, you can just join the WhatsApp group as provided in the link, where all the alumni of the Swedish Institute Scholarship are. They'll be able to help you with all your questions, to answer all your questions. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for participating in this webinar. It has been a great engagement with you, prospective scholars of the Swedish Institute Scholarship. And again, as Private has already illustrated, thank you so much, Martin, for sticking around up until this time. And again, thank you so much, my colleagues from the Swedish Institute's Alumni Network here in Malawi, for the time we had with the prospective scholars of the Swedish Institute Scholarship Program. I think that's all for now. We'll meet in the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you for organizing it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.